I think it started with bitches. Oh,
You know.
jeez. So, all right, everybody, welcome to the fourth week of Mass Effect 2164. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have an interesting session set up. I do have to say, unfortunately, Rookie could not make it today. So, sadly, no Rookie Wookies today. But that's okay. At least we have the artwork of the characters right there for everybody to view. So you can actually see how cool everyone is and how not cool one of them is. And yeah, good to go. So last week when we played, really quick sum up, it was like rewards were handed out, or punishments that became rewards were handed out for the prior session's activities. You guys kind of like finished that up, went through the chatting for it. We're handed a new mission to go and check out this planet, wherein you had to decide like where on the planet you wanted to land, how are you going to handle the situation going on there. It's kind of war-torn world. There were three major factions. There were the more or less the nuclear option. There was Tom, and then there was like the we just really want to mine things very well option. And so you guys chose to go with Tom, which seemed to be very military-esque or mercenary-esque outfit. So you guys are with them and moving around, like you have some sort of deal to stay there or whatever. While you're with them, you went to like the fringes to speak to some of the people there, and you got a little bit of information. This fringe was recently acquired from one of the other groups. And holy crap, I'm so bad with names. I literally just forgot the names of the other groups. So there was Tom, there was the Glorious Past, and then there was the something.
Yeah, the Great Before. Those are the guys
Before.
with nuclear bombs.
Yep.
And Sebastian Industries.
Sebastian Industries. I was like something Industries. What is it? Sebastian Industries. Thank you. So
don't take notes.
I literally just opened up Roll20 on my second computer because I was fixing the. You guys already know I was fixing that. So anyway, so
Forget about it.
forget about it. So
Only thing we need to know is Tom.
Tom, exactly, Tom. So you guys are on the rim of the Great Before and
The rim
of
of
Tom, and well, that touches the Great Before. Touches
Rims Tom. Nope.
it. And so.
Come from that.
So you guys are there. Let's move on. You met with a young lady. She more or less told you people have been disappearing. They don't know why, but people have been disappearing. And so you kind of set out to start investigating those things. So you wanted to start setting out, and I don't think you guys really plotted out which direction you wanted to head. Straight to the east would bring you into the Great Beyond. North and south would keep you along the border of Tom. And west would bring you away from the border you just came from there. Where was it you guys intended to go? Please. I don't think Carmine has a voice here. I think Rockwell is his commander, and he has to just shut up and listen.
Well, if I remember correctly, like it literally ended off. She gave us a bunch of directions, and I made like a little circle on the map of like here-ish. Smart-wise, we should probably stay on the border of Tom to start with, just in case things do go horribly wrong. We'll be slightly better off, a tiny bit. So that would be my recommendation. Once we've left the office / there's a really fucking loud helicopter flying around, so it's just left the office.
That's okay. My dog was just barking right before we went live. I was like, "Shut up, dog." You know.
I can't do that to a helicopter, though. Sadly.
You know what? I think it's less immoral to bitch slap a helicopter than a dog, though.
I've hurt myself.
All right,
especially if the rotors are spinning.
Moving on.
Anyway.
So you guys intended to head out. You know, I know you had the circle. Which direction did you want to go to first?
The border of Tom. Don't go too far out of its territory.
So you're talking because like you're on the border, but like with all borders, it's not like sure there is a line, of course, where you're crossing over, but especially when you're in like a conflict zone, the border's more of a broad stroke. So
yeah, it's more of a suggestion.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Rick. So you guys want to push to like that very edge where you're probably arguably in their territory or this one, and then after you head a smidge more to the east, you looking to head north or south, or just kind of like see how things are immediately right there.
I think north then south, like almost like go through that border territory, and then if nothing shows up, then we'll have to.
Yeah, because north is actually the smaller little blip before it starts turning back to the west. I think I described that last week. All right, cool, great plan. So you guys are kind of getting together and planning on doing it, but one of the things that you notice while doing that is, what's her name? Ward is off to the side because you guys kind of like walked off to the side, came up with a plan, and then like split up and spent about the next hour, 2 hours gathering together. Like, you don't really need supplies from there. You have all your food and your water and everything, but gathering like a little bit of intel, speaking to the people, getting familiar with the terrain and whatnot. After doing that, you get back together with Ward, and you notice that she kind of has a different like expression to her. She seems to be maybe a little distracted. And could you do me a favor and roll for me? And you guys can both do this. Roll for me a what is it? A talk wisdom check, please. Good roll.
I talk good even when I'm not talking.
I also fixed the way that the thing pops up over on the rolling area, so it's a little bit cleaner when it pops in. So okay, both of you guys, but definitely Rockwell better than Carmine. Both of you guys notice that she seems a bit distracted, as I just said. She seems like interested with something else. But Rockwell, you really notice that she seems legitimately concerned with this area. I mean, hearing the news that people are disappearing and whatnot, you notice that there's a good number of children that live here. Now, I don't think that she cares about kids necessarily. I don't think Lena's got like this soft side where she's like, one day I'll be a mom, and so genetics and gender and stuff. Like, I don't think that's really it, but there's something about it that just seems to be bothering her, and you don't really know why. And so she seems to be more interested in what's going on here and now than elsewhere.
Okay. Well, if Rockwell notices that, he's not gonna be like, hey, you don't go on this mission, you look sad. He's not gonna do that, weirdly enough.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit,
he'll
right?
just note it, but he won't even really acknowledge it. He'll just be like, are you ready?
Yeah.
Gotta head off.
In which case she'll more or less just be like, I think I'm gonna stay here. There's enough intel that I can grab from them. We need to stay here. Besides, I might be able to get their computers up and running. Maybe I could pull something off of their data banks. It's old technology. I bet, even Carmine could hack into it if need be.
Carmine's face is kind of like a...
Carmine's?
Yeah. It's a very Rockwell.
Thank you.
Okay, good. There we go. I am Rockwell.
Yes.
So he's sort of just like... Okay, that's reasonable. You might be able to find some intelligence. We don't. We will scour the field. You'll stay here, but if we yell for you, we'll be needing your sniper rifle.
You don't need to yell. And she taps her comm.
It's a figure of speech.
He's gonna yell anyway. And then he'll need a new pair of pants.
She looks to Carmine and says, probably more of a squeal, huh? And then with that, she'll kind of like go and walk off, and immediately, like, it seems as though there was already almost like a ramp or something set up for a nearby building. She immediately walks off and goes over to the ramp and starts walking up and gets onto the roof that's nearby. She pulls her sniper rifle out, and she flips out these two little things and plants it into the building, and immediately starts like looking out towards the east, the direction that you guys are heading.
I'll nod at that. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I think he has a range of 4,500 kilometers, or at least 4.
Yeah, she got a scopy.
Yeah, she got a pretty intense scope. There are a few scopes that are as scopy as her scope. Yeah, 4K. 4K.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 4,000 feet. My apologies. 4,000 meters. 4,000
I was about
meters,
to say 4,000 meters
which is
and 4,000 feet is a big difference.
which is 4 kilometers. So that's a huge fucking range. That's almost 2 miles. So So you guys are able to start heading out. Now, for your transport, you have a couple ways that you can do this. One thing, you could easily just hoof it. You guys are welcome to walk on foot. That's obviously going to be the most discreet way of traveling, but also the slowest. They do have beat up and run down, but they do have vehicles here. Things as simple as, you know, four-wheel, old school Makos. We're talking like a very old model of Mako. So these Makos could not stop the bullets of the weapons that you guys currently hold. No, at least not completely, but definitely would be effective against most likely the weapons that everybody else has because, you know, they all have the weaker technology. Or you can even go with something like something faster. They have like it works inconsistently, but a hovercraft that can move across the terrain. It can move across pretty much any terrain because it'll float above it, and so it doesn't get slowed down by anything, and it moves very, very quickly and very smoothly. However, it's inconsistent in its functioning. You might have to... they'll give you a couple of spare parts, God forbid.
As much as Rockwell is a tech person, I feel like his recommendation is going to be taken by foot. Because we want to very slowly scour an area anyway for anything that seems out of place. And it's just way smarter to do that by foot.
Okay.
To him.
Yeah. So Rockwell wants to go
But
by...
he will actually be like, Carmine, if you've got expertise here.
No.
Yeah, I'm not exactly the best person to call to drive stuff.
Yeah.
Besides, we do want to, you know, these are humans after all. If we were on an alien planet, I'd be like, yeah, we'll grab a vehicle, we'll just go guns blazing, but we don't want to look for trouble here. They already don't like Alliance as it is. I think going slow and steady and also sneaky, probably the best way to go about things.
Awesome. So you guys are going to strap together your goods and hoof it. Is there anything you want to leave behind with Lena that you just don't want to have to hoof with you, or are you perfectly fine
Everything heavy is going in Euros.
Cool.
By drone.
Awesome. You never bought a heavy weapon, did you, Rick?
No, not yet.
Not yet. So, all right, cool. So you guys at least know for the first kilometers, you have in theory Overwatch behind you guys. So,
yeah, the world could always use more heroes.
Yeah. So you guys start making your way. So could you do me a favor? As you're making your way through there, both of you roll me. It's going to be survival. You could actually choose.
I'm bad at that.
You could actually choose which one you
Yeah.
prefer. There's survival wisdom, which is more or less relying on your instincts. And then there's survival intelligence, which is relying based off of your knowledge. The thing is, like, this terrain is actually, like I said, it's a garden planet. So it is a garden world. So it's actually good enough that if you have training with that kind of, you do instinctively have training with that kind of a world, you could choose either of them here.
Weirdly enough, I'm choosing intelligence, Scott.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
No, please,
When I have
go
a
right ahead.
+1 to, that kind of makes sense to me.
Go right ahead. There's an 8 and an 8. You guys both rolled an 8. Beautiful. So,
At least
you
we're
guys
on the same wavelength, you know?
Yeah.
We're having a bro. This is gonna, by the end of this, we're gonna be comrades. No. If it was a D&D with any other characters, yeah, but not this pairing.
Maybe further down the campaign. Easy there, buddy.
So, you guys are able to make your way through there no problem. So when I say no problem, what I mean is, like, as you guys are making your way through the area, it's not a matter of like, oh, I could choose this hill over that hill. It's more like you're walking to beat up shitty town, out of beat up shitty town, into beat up shitty town. None of them so far really seem truly abandoned, but as you're making your way through, there seems to be less and less people. Now, making your way to that first town, you're in strong communication with Ward, no question. And she's able to completely check out that town before you guys get there. She's able to watch over it, make sure everything's clear, before you head around the first corner. Good to go. When you guys leave that town and go to the next one, it's one of those, like, she can't even see that far away. She's still in strong communication with you and everything, no question, but she can't even see that far away. And so she's like, well, I'm going to see if I can get this computer up and running. Maybe I can link up to their satellite and see if I can get some outward imaging down and try to give you guys some eyes on the sky. But, you know, it's going to take some time to even get that computer working. So she's working on that, trying to make all that happen. That's as you guys approach the second town. There's less people in the first town than the one you guys originally started in, even less in the second one. As you're approaching the third town, your communications with her are still strong. Again, the quality of technology you guys are using. However, you don't have access to any of the satellites overhead. Sure, they were originally Alliance, but they've been changed so much over the years, and you guys don't even use the same kind of signals anymore because it's been altered by Prothean technology and whatnot. The signal, it's still a strong signal, but there's still a little bit of fuzz. There's a little bit of interference to it. You can understand each other 95% of the time, no question. There's no concerns, but it's starting to get a little bit fuzzy. When you get to this town here, could you guys roll me a perception check, please? That's wisdom, of course. Actually, wisdom for you, Ollie. For you, Carmine, you can choose wisdom or intelligence. You're trained in this kind of scenario.
Definitely going for intelligence, yeah.
Okay. Now, to explain what I mean by that, Ollie, your Rockwell is using his instincts on where to check, whereas Carmine's using his training. He's been trained as a soldier for infiltration to know exactly where it is to look, when to look, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Okay. So, very appropriately so, Rockwell looks around and he sees nobody for an extended period of time. And Carmine, you look around using your training, and you don't see anybody at first. And so you're like, this place seems abandoned. Very likely, it's not actually abandoned. Let's start checking these other areas. And so instead of checking like the open area where Rockwell is doing the whole, okay, let's go up to a wall, look around the streets.
You know what
and
I would
whatnot.
actually be doing, Scott? If you want to use some slight logic,
Please.
I'd use the heat vision that my drone has.
Sure.
To
Okay.
see into the buildings.
Sure.
Not to like.
I forgot that
like,
you're drone because it's so new. We haven't used it yet.
New. It has basically, you know, is there a way you could see? It can see that way. Yeah, it's got that ability.
No problem. So, and it's doing
got
exactly
many
that. As you guys are peeking around a corner, looking down the street, it's checking the heat signatures inside buildings that you're like up against. So it'll check a building, make sure it's clean. You guys will go up against that building. You look around the next place before you go to the next building. It'll check whatever. It's going exactly like that.
My drone isn't sentient yet. That cost a lot. I'm controlling it.
No. I get that. So you send it over. Do I need to re-describe what just happened, or did you get it?
No. You just said like the way you described it made it sound like it's smart.
Oh, no. It's not moving on its own. So more or less, you control it. It goes over, checks the building's clean. You guys hustle over to the building. Now you're against it and look around the corners. So that's what you're doing, checking this area. Back to Carmine. Carmine realizes that it's very likely this entire area is clean, and so he doesn't check the buildings anymore. He doesn't care about the streets anymore. He starts checking the rooftops. He starts checking to see if there's like little built-in catches in the ground and things down the alleyways and stuff like that. Areas where you wouldn't typically look right away. And so he does notice people. He notices a little bit of movement after you guys have been inside the town for 6 or 7 minutes, so a considerable amount of time since you've actually like gone into the town itself. He starts noticing on a rooftop there's a little bit of reflecting light. It doesn't have a pattern to it or anything like that. It seems accidental. A little bit of reflective light up there that's catching his eye. And then looking around, so taking that in, you can choose to speak to Rockwell in a second. Looking over, you see on another rooftop there's a little bit of movement happening. Please, go ahead, Carmine.
Okay, so I get on the comms. Rockwell, movement on that particular roof. I've got a glitter on another roof right over there. Does not seem regular in any way, so just keep your eyes open. And I immediately pull out my assault rifle.
Before you respond, 2 things. One, how are you guys spread out? Are you like literally back to back or like along the same building?
I would be taking points.
So you'd be taking points, so you'd be maybe how many meters ahead of Ollie? on average?
10 to 15 meters. Good spacing,
there'd be a
but
big
not
gap.
too far.
Okay, cool. So let's go 10 to 15 meters that you guys are apart. Awesome. And just so you guys understand how it is that you're going to point out these buildings, you could, of course, gesture if he's within eyesight or if the drone's with him. I imagine you just literally tap the drone that he's controlling and gesture in a way. But also, immediately when you come into an area, both of you guys have basic Omni tools, right? And one of the things that an Omni tool does is it sends out a pulse, much like echolocation, to take in its surroundings, what's going on around there. So it sends out a pulse to take it in and throws it onto a display, like that actually on your Omni tool itself, a holo display. So if you're dropping out, you can literally drop a pin on a roof. So you can drop a pin that signals there's light happening, pin here, and I saw movement over pin here. So all he doesn't, Rockwell doesn't have to like, wait, where's he gesturing to? Which building is it? He can literally see it on his Omni tool. Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely be putting like pins and markers down, whatever. Getting the point across efficiently.
No,
makes
cool.
sense.
Cool. So, my apologies, Rockwell, your response to his pointing out the movement in the glitter.
I would just be far more careful. There wouldn't be an audible response. I would just slow down, try to sort of check it out a little bit more, but nothing. No actual real actions.
Cool. Okay, so you slow down and you want to check it out better. So, do you want to send your drone to go check it out? Like,
it can't fly, so if I wanted to check it out, I mean, maybe you let me have a bonus perception or something because it'd be using different wavelengths.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't be sending it like up into buildings or something like that. It would be basically Carmine, the drone, a little bit ahead of me, and then me.
So,
like not much.
Remind everyone what beyond infrared vision, what other ways it uses to see? Can it see like electromagnetic?
It uses infrared and UV, and I do believe electromagnetic.
Okay. You can double check the electromagnetic. Infrared is certainly useful. It's daytime right now, but much later in the day. It's daytime right now, but infrared certainly is useful. Why don't you roll for me a perception check with it? This is perception wisdom.
Cool. I'll do that, and they'll check. Yeah, it's got like a bunch of things. I only wrote down UV IR because that would make the most sense.
Okay, so one of the things that you're going to notice when you make that beautiful perception check of an 11, one of the things that you notice with the drone, it's actually almost like critical because you don't have a modifier. So one of the things that you notice is when it goes over there and looks is first you check the area that had the glitter because that happened to be the one that was closer by. You notice there's one heat signature up there. The heat signature, it looks to be humanoid in shape and everything, but there is definitely one person up there, and they are in fact lying down. And then there is on the other roof, the one where there was movement, there's 7 heat signatures up there.
Lying down, are they lying on their back or their front?
I mean,
I know it'd be hard to tell.
It's kind of hard to tell, but they're lying down and their upper bodies pointing towards you, their lower bodies pointing away. The other 7 are mixed in how they're kind of like too close together to really like from this angle to really see the details, but they're mixed, like kind of balled up or sitting or whatever. Go ahead.
That makes sense. I would ping more specifically the location, and I imagine we've got like different types of pings we could do. So I would ping like, I don't know, if it's not a thing that is standard in Omni tools, Rockwell definitely would have created it at some point. Be like concealed enemy at that location, and the more like the exact like there on that rooftop in that corner. And the other ones I would just be like maybe like do actually a text thing like there's 7 heat signatures there. That one is most likely a sniper or a scout or something.